Most men today are not weak. They are not lost. They are not broken. They are alone. But not the kind of loneliness people can see. It's the kind that happens in silence, in crowded rooms, in relationships, even in success. And the most dangerous part? Most of them don't even know why. We live in a world more connected than ever. Messages, calls, social media, endless communication. But somehow, men feel more disconnected than before. They talk less, they open up less, they trust less. So they retreat into work, into screens, into distraction, into isolation, and slowly, without realizing it, loneliness becomes normal, not because they chose it, but because they stopped doing the things that create connection, real connection, honest conversations, vulnerability, shared struggle, presence. Instead, most men replace connection with stimulation, scrolling instead of speaking, watching instead of engaging, consuming instead of building real bonds. And at first, it doesn't feel like a problem, because distraction feels like company. But over time, the silence gets louder. Here's what most people get wrong. Men are not lonely because the world is empty. They are lonely because their habits push people away. Not intentionally, but gradually, because every habit has a consequence. Avoidance builds distance. Pride builds walls. Distraction replaces presence. Comfort replaces effort. And relationships don't survive absence. They survive attention. But many men stop showing up emotionally, not because they don't care, but because it's easier not to engage. So they stay available, but not present, surrounded by people, but disconnected from everyone. And slowly, something changes. You stop reaching out, people stop reaching back, and silence becomes your default state, not because you were abandoned, but because connection was never maintained. This is the part nobody wants to hear. Loneliness is not just something that happens to men, it's something men build without noticing. But loneliness is not permanent. It is reversible, not through more social media, not through more distraction, but through presence and effort. Real connection starts small. One honest conversation, one message you didn't ignore, one moment of vulnerability instead of silence, one time you choose engagement over isolation. Because connection is not a feeling, it is a practice. And like discipline, it must be maintained. The men who are not lonely are not lucky. They are intentional. They show up. They reach out. They stay present even when it feels uncomfortable. And most importantly, they don't wait for others to fix the distance they created. They take responsibility for it. Because connection is built the same way discipline is built, one action at a time. So if you feel alone, don't immediately blame the world. Don't immediately blame people. Look at patterns. Have you been avoiding connection? Have you replaced presence with distraction? Have you stopped reaching out? Because loneliness is rarely sudden. It is accumulated. But so is connection. You don't fix loneliness overnight. You reverse it through consistent presence. One message, one conversation, one moment of honesty at a time. If this resonated with you, subscribe to the Clarity Room. And remember, loneliness is not the absence of people. It is the absence of presence.